Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Podsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Podsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to to put together the prophecy of Israel. And here it is, the Bible I used. Now, my last episode, and the last week or so at work, has been really hell for me because I'm a line cook at a truck stop. And so I'm witnessing how people are treating COVID-19. And it just saddens me and it sickens me and it angers me that people are not taking this seriously. So I decided that this episode would go on the lighter side of things, or at least on my end. It's like something that's a little happier for me because COVID-19 and the devastation that it is bringing is just horrific. And how are we ever going to survive this? With the help of God, of course. God promised that He would return in our time of need, that He would help us to get through this horrific time that we're facing. And He told us exactly what He was going to do, right in this good book. Now you can see where I've outlined all of the relevant passages. There's a lot here to be seen. So, today, I'm going to read to you from the 29th chapter of the book of Isaiah, the 9th verse, and the 10th verse. Stay yourselves in wonder. Cry you out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and your rulers, the seers hath he covered. Stay yourselves in wonder. Cry you out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. Those are my people. Those are God's people. Because in the 33rd chapter of the book of Isaiah, it states, Hear ye that are far off what I have done, and see ye that are near, acknowledge my might. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrite. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? He that walketh uprightly and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of the oppressors, that shaketh his head at the holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from the hearing of blood, and that shutteth his eyes from the seeing of evil. Now, this is an apt description of my people, in that they stagger around drunken, doing drugs instead of alcohol. And they burn things. They consume, it's like we consume it through fire. So you have a choice to make, according to this prophecy. You can either be devoured by the devouring fire, or you can have everlasting burnings. Either you can uphold the right of those who have those everlasting burnings, or you can take part in the oppression, the bribing, the corruption that is the war on drugs. So, God has ordained that drug addicts are the chosen people of the Most High God of Israel. It is us, lowly potheads and drug addicts, that God has championed. The prophecy foretells that the new age that is coming into being, that will rise up from the ashes of this now dead society, will be the Zionite people, the lowly drug users, because we're not lowly, not in the least. We ascend on high every time we do drugs, every time we stagger around drunken without using alcohol. Oh, well, it states in here that a lot of us do use alcohol. It talks about all the nasty drunken habits of America and the world. But it's the potheads that rule. Because I'm Zion. I turn everything upside down, making that which is good evil and that which is evil good. Or, in other words, bringing around true justice. Surprising the sinner hypocrites. The sinners are the Christians, because they're all about sin. Oh, Jesus will forgive you of your sin. You're a sinner. You fall short to the glory of God. But the sinners have their hell. And that's exactly what's coming. I made a realization last night, kind of a philosophical thought. Hell is not a place, it's an event. It's the moment when the methane in our atmosphere ignites and creates a firestorm that will engulf the entire planet. Every living, breathing thing that exists on the surface of the planet at that moment will fry. That is hell. Now, once they die, they will go through the death process just like everybody else throughout all time and space. But how they come out on the other side, that's what should scare them. Because they've earned their place in the lower kingdoms. Very few of the people who die in that final death will ever see human existence again. Now, those of you who are dying of COVID-19, you're redeemable. Some of you. Some of you are just going back to where you came from. But some of you are going to come back as humans. But you'll have to wait because there's going to be a massive amount of you. And what you leave behind will be your children who will come to me and all of us low-life hippies and people who have the potential to make it through to Zion, to come to see the light of reality and ascension, to forsake their foolish ways and to save themselves. But ultimately, that third of humanity that is said to survive the upcoming cataclysm will be those drunken, stumbling, without alcoholic people, the potheads, the drug addicts, my people. This is our time to rise. We've paid our dues. We've suffered all of our karma. And we have learned through adversity and oppression how to conduct ourselves in a just and honorable manner. And so, as COVID-19 devastates those who are unworthy of Zion, flat out, or those who are so locked in their faith in false gods and false things that it would be more merciful for them to die. Those are the people who are dying right now of COVID-19. When COVID-19 devastates them, those who remain will have been karmically determined to be capable of transitioning to the new social order. That doesn't mean they're going to. Now, I figure because there's two events that is supposed to devastate the human population in the next 20 years, and a third of humanity survives, I'm assuming that these two horrific events, the consumption, which is COVID-19, and the fireball Earth, will each take a third of the population. So I'm saying a third to COVID-19, a third to the fireball, and a third to Zion. And Zion will be established and ruled, governed by potheads, by telepathic drug users, with the guidance and help of our parent race, our father race, the Grey. Because we are telepaths. We have the capacity to use our entire brain, as opposed to that portion, the 10% or whatever that normal humans use. Because we're not normal humans. The minute we got high, we activated our gray DNA. And we became a hybrid in reality, not just a potential hybrid. Because when the Greys created humanity, they gave us their DNA. So within us, we have the entire genome for the human race and the entire genome for the Grey race. Potheads just activated their Grey race. So may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy, be your joy, pursue your joy. Stay happy and high. Know I love you. I will see you later, because I will never say goodbye.